If you want to know the whole reason why they are mad, is because we get to travel through time and space. So once we have realized how to unlock our minds and time travel, we can go back in time, change stuff, and then it alters the reality of what we're seeing now. So if more of us have hacked our own brains, that means we have the ability to change the course of where our reality is going. But I feel like you literally have to be, this sounds crazy, as much by yourself as possible, because if you're distracted, you would have never known that this is a thing. And they do that on purpose. And I don't care how crazy I sound, because when Albert Einstein was going through the same thing, y'all didn't call him crazy. Y'all call him intelligent scientist. Same with Tesla. Same with all those people. That's why all that stuff is hidden. And ain't none of them alive, because they keep all that stuff. They keep it. This is the stuff that they should have been teaching us in school, is that you literally travel through time and space with your mind and your thoughts. And then you're able to create portals, which portals are literally running water, and running water creates electricity, and we are electric. We are electric. So anything that they can do, we can do better, because we're the ones that created it, and we all have the same abilities within ourselves to unlock. But you have to clear away the junk DNA in order to get the new one. And as our kundalini rises, what they call, you know, how they have two looks at the snake or whatever, and the tree of knowledge and everything, it all starts to really make sense. Because you have your 7-year tribulation, and you have 7 chakras. And then they talk about how God made the earth, which is one of the heavens, because there's more than one, 7 days. So on the 7th day he rests, which we would call Sunday. And that's where I like to do all my meditation, and it gets me in where my crown chakra, where it's peace, bliss, and all of that. But it's right here. So as we go through the 7-year tribulations within inside of ourselves, we'll see it come to the outside. And then, like it said, Earth, what they call it, or mother nature, or whatever, this planet that we live on, we will rule for the last 1,000 years. Because what you're not understanding is it's going to go through another transition. Gaia is going to also die and rebirth. And if y'all didn't realize this, I don't care how crazy I sound, but I have to say it. If you don't know how to live in outer space, when Gaia dies, because we have to travel through space and time here first, and then you'll see it'll move multiple ways. Like, not only will we know how to do time machines and go through portals and flying spaceships, like those are all connected with each other. We all have this information in our own brains. They did not want y'all to know. They did not want y'all to know, because they're trying to take our ideas and use them so that they could go. And then when Gaia births herself all new and natural again, they're gonna try to come back here. That's why they got a little hub on the moon. Like, I feel like I'm dropping all the jewels. Y'all didn't realize this stuff is it's a setup. But they know. The only thing is, like, we wouldn't be going to the moon, because we have an ability to travel way further, way out, and we got people waiting for us. Y'all gotta go to the moon and steal our DNA and do all this weird, crazy stuff. But it's true. And you guys are going to see this in real life, because you're gonna see it. You're going to see it with your real eyes, that the things that we've been talking about is true. Because if Gaia is dying, if Mother Earth is dying, you literally start to leak DMT in your brain. If we are one with Gaia, we'll learn the same thing, but then we go off and we live in space. Like if you were to die, people just think you go into the oblivion. No, it's going to be, you're going to see this with your real eyes. So if Mother Earth is leaking DMT and we're part of her consciousness, that means that's what our brain is doing as well. So we're coming up with ideas to not only be one with Gaia, but in her last stages, we'll be building things. And then you'll see what we made that stays, because the things that were made by God will always stay. So Stonehenge and the pyramids and all those other things, like when we go into our new lives, you notice how we have birthmarks? For Gaia, it'll be a birthmark. And the things that we built after we tear all this shit down and we rule for 1,000 years, it'll still be there, and we'll come back. We will come back again, but this time it'll be in this body, and for the other ones it'll be in that body that they created. Well, it'll come as one first, because we get to be a grandparent, and then we get to come as these bodies that we have learned to master, because each of our bodies is a mathematical equation on how to keep it the way it's supposed to be kept, how to manipulate your body to stay young forever, as long as you choose, because you have the mind power to do that. Now, also, they say whenever you die, it takes you 7 minutes. Do you hear all these sevens? There is no coincidence to what is going on. So the further we get into it, so we are clearly, we in the third eye process. We are in the 6th chakra, where people are we're kind of transitioning from here to here, because people are speaking their truth. So then you're going to see the truth. The more that you speak your truth, this is the most important part right here. A lot of people are upset, panties in a bunch, mad as hell, because we're finally coming out and telling the truth. Well, when we speak our truth, that means that people on the other end have to be held accountable. And they're not going to want that. But we can't help that. Our truth is our truth. And you decided to play that character or that role in our movie, basically. You have to take accountability for that, what you did. Just like I have to take accountability for the role and character that I played in other people's movies. So as we speak our truth, the people that hurt you and did all these things, they're going to be super, super upset, and they're going to be living in that element of fight or flight that puts you in your root chakra, red, and you will live in a state of fear, and that all sets off the same pheromone. Like, say if you're living in fear, it gives the same pheromone as fighting. Like, you have your defense, your guard up. So this is how I can kind of explain. If a bee is buzzing near you and all of a sudden you get scared, you're scared because the bee is gonna sting you. But the bee reads that pheromone off that you're giving off of fear that it's gonna sting you, as you're trying to fight it and it's trying to defend itself. That it doesn't see any difference. So you're the one that has to program your brain the way that you want it to function. They never wanted you to know, as long as you kept your mind controlled, because they knew, I mean, it is a really big thing that's happening right now, is the freedom of our brains, because this is way bigger than all the Martin Luther King, all of that. It's way bigger than that, because we're going to see the truth. We're going to see it. And it's going to hurt a lot of different people if you have not went within. But everybody had the chance. All they had to do was own up to it. But again, it's going to come back up. A lot of stuff is going to come back up. And if you are starting to feel like you have got these ideas that are smart, and if you told anyone, you would feel like they would try, That's why I don't really like to talk to people, because people like to tell me that I can't do something. They're never like, oh yeah, you should do that. Like in my head right now, I could think, oh, I want to be an astronaut. Not exactly in the way that they say it, like NASA, no. But a scientist or whatever, I am starting to learn things that I just never thought were possible, that put you on a genius level, and everything starts to make sense. Everything scientific starts to make sense. The ocean starts to make sense. The firmament starts to make sense. Everything starts to make sense. And it took a lot of sacrifice. And instead of sacrificing other people, you know, I sacrificed myself and detaching from things. And I've detached from a lot. And though we all may struggle or whatever, we're going into a new time period that is going to change the course of reality. It's going to change the way we see things. It's going to change our world forever and ever. And it has a lot to do with time travel. It has a lot to do with, that's all I can say. The downloads I'm getting is time travel. And to time travel, you have to travel through space. So up there. And it's happening really, it's flowing and it's going. And the faster that we go through this process, the faster it's going to project onto the physical earth. So it'll be like a domino effect until basically the whole world sees a bigger picture, and it's going to open up. But then they're going to try to black it out. They're going to try to cover up the truth. There's no hiding this anymore. And if you haven't made it to this level, I almost feel sorry for you. But we can't carry the world on our back. You have to carry yourself for this next transition. There's nobody that can hold you no more at all. We can only be a leader and lead by example. Not that you're like on your own, but you're on your own. Something is so crazy. Wow. I would have never thought I'd be sitting here making a video about how real time travel is. And they made all the movies about it, and all the alien movies where they try to scare you. But really, there's so many different types of aliens here and splices here. And we're literally still all one. That's why there's so many of us right now on this dang earth, which is us, reflections of different dimensions in time and space. Anywhere that you look, it is a reflection of you. It is just literally, they're in a different dimension. Because this is a multi-dimensional world, and we're going to prove that to you. You guys are lucky. Stick around for the magic show, because it's coming to a city near you. But don't be deceived by what they're going to try to do, because they're going to try to create something that is not real, and you'll know by going within, I promise. So that's all I gotta say.